story I am going to tell you today is one of the scariest ghost stories of India. You too will get goosebumps after hearing this. Kurseong is a small hill station in Darjeeling. The weather here remains pleasant for 12 months, which attracts tourists. As much as the weather here is charming, the haunted incidents happening there keep people in fear. There are two places in Kurseong, Victoria Boys School and the Dow Hill Forest adjacent to it. Local people say that despite the closure of the school, boys are heard playing, walking, and horrifying screams are heard inside it. Nearby is the Dow Hill Forest, where many murders and unnatural deaths have occurred, the cause of which has not been known. There are many incidents of suicide here also. This forest holds many secrets within itself. This forest is so dense that you can experience night even during the day. There is a road here which goes from Dow Hill Forest to the forest office, which is called Death Road. Here many people have seen the ghost of a boy who has no head. One day Annie comes to know about Dow Hill, and she comes to India to find out the truth about Dow Hill. Annie used to go to haunted places and capture the truth of it being haunted or not on camera and post it on social media. Annie used to do her research at night, but since she had reached Kurseong during the day, she started asking the local people about Dow Hill. One day Annie comes to know about Dow Hill, and she comes to India to find out the truth about Dow Hill. Annie used to go to haunted places and capture the truth of it being haunted or not on camera and post it on social media. Annie used to do her research at night, but since she had reached Kurseong during the day, she started asking the local people about Dow Hill. Annie noticed that people's faces turned pale as soon as she asked about Dow Hill. A man told her that she would never be able to see that decapitated loss and asked her to go back. Hearing all this, Annie went to the hotel, and as soon as it was evening, Annie set out on the death road told by the people with her camera. Suddenly the cold started increasing. Annie was moving forward telling about that place in her camera when her foot hit something and she fell. Annie thought that she might have hit some wood or stone lying on the road. But as soon as she got up and turned back, she saw that her foot had not hit any stone but someone's foot. And in no time, those feet went inside the forest, as if someone pulled her and took her inside the forest. Annie understood that the tag of Dow Hill being haunted was true. Now Annie started feeling scared, but her investigation was still not complete. Somehow gathering courage, she kept moving forward on the death road. Suddenly an old woman crossed the road in front of Annie and went into the forest. Annie also started walking quietly behind that woman without making any noise. She was capturing everything on camera. While walking, she felt as if someone was following her. Suddenly she heard a voice in her ears, "Annie, go back." Hearing this, Annie got goosebumps, but she was looking for that beheaded man. So she somehow gathered courage and decided to go a little further. When she turned back after going a little further, she saw two red eyes looking at her from among the dense trees in the forest. Seeing this, Annie screamed loudly and started running. While running, strange sounds started echoing in her ears. Sometimes someone's crying voice and sometimes someone's laughing voice. Somehow Annie got out of that death road and went to the hotel. Even after all this, Annie was satisfied that she had captured all this in her camera. That night Annie kept her camera on the table and went to sleep. After an hour, Annie started hearing the same strange sound again. When she opened her eyes, she saw that the headless ghost was standing in front of her and he was holding the camera in his hand. In no time, the camera caught fire and the camera burnt to ashes in front of Annie. And then that ghost disappeared from in front of Annie. Seeing all this, Annie fainted. In the morning, the hotel staff woke her up. When she told the whole thing to the hotel staff, everyone believed her, but when she told these things on social media, some people believed her and some called it a false story. Whatever the truth may be, Dow Hill is still a mystery. Please like and subscribe for more terrifying tales.